Hi, everyone, and welcome to another session of Feck Off Friday. We are so excited to have our team here and an amazing guest speaker. Jim, you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. All I can say is welcome to Peck Off Friday. I'm glad to be here. Excited to hear what Isabel's going to tell us from Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, and if you're not listening to this, Peck Off.
So Elizabeth Tatum, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. So I want to introduce Elizabeth to everyone. She and I first got to know each other back in 2017, 18?
17.
17. It's been that long. And
Yeah.
This was way back when you first found out that Rayban had been diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. We spoke for many hours and came up with a game plan, and we started helping Rayban with his brain mass. Tell us a little bit about that, Elizabeth. Thank you for being on the show, by the way.
Of course, I'm happy to be here. It's always nice to share the story, pay it forward, especially for people who are open and willing to listen. It was Memorial Day weekend in May of 2017, and I was at the beach and awoke to just a terrible sound, and it was Rayban. I guess he just had fallen on the wooden floor, and he was just having a horrible seizure. It was terrifying. I've never witnessed a seizure before that, and I didn't know what to do, but I of course got up, got him through it. He was circling and drooling, and just his eyes were like a zombie, but he finally came back to the normal Rayban. And the next morning, I immediately came back to Atlanta because I was like, we got to figure out what's going on here. And he had another one on the drive back. That was on Memorial Day. So when I reached the vet school at UGA, they said if it's two within 24 hours, two within 24 hours, he's probably got a brain tumor. He's 7 years old. And I, made an appointment immediately and took him and quickly got MRI results, and it was a honker. It was a very big glioma, inoperable. Hopefully you have pictures of it. If not, I've got a picture I can hold up, but it's just on a printed piece of paper. And they said, really, the only thing you can do is radiation. He's probably got about 8 to 10 months to live, maybe a couple more if you do the radiation. And of course, I signed up for it because you want to get as much time as you can. And then went down a little bit of a research rabbit hole, posted on Facebook, like those goofballs that post things on Facebook about how sad they are their dog has a brain tumor. It paid off, though, because I got a message from a friend who runs dispensaries in Colorado. And he said, I can't help you, but I know you're smart and you can research and you can figure out how to help your dog with cannabis. And so found Tino's videos and listened to every one of them, where he held up the vet report, said, 8 weeks to live for Shorty with stage 4 lymphoma. And I said, I'm going to do exactly whatever he did, I'm going to do. And it took a minute to figure out where you were, Jesse, because you had moved, but I found you. And the minute we got on the phone, you said, we're going to get rid of your dog's brain tumor, which I didn't believe you. I thought you were crazy, but what did I have to lose? So I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. So we jumped in with both feet, and I followed exactly what you told me to do, and it paid off like there's no tomorrow. I mean, it's 3.5 months later, it was gone. The brain tumor was gone, and UGA neurologists were baffled. They said, just keep doing what you're doing. They can't say do that, but keep doing what you're doing. So.
And you knew that the mass was gone because you did another MRI, right?
I did. So diagnosis was June 6th, and September, I might have this wrong, 17th or something, like 3.5 months later, it was gone. And I did do, just so you know, I did do the 5-day stereotactical radiation because I was too scared to cancel it, even though you told me to, Jesse, and I kind of wish I had looking back. But I don't give the radiation any credit for getting rid of the brain tumor. I really don't. After everything I've read and all the stories I've followed and keeping up with you two, Jesse and Isabel, I 100% credit the cannabis for doing it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
plus
a
they had
strong
said-
testimonial.
Yeah, and they had said they would only, or they would only get 2 months extra with the radiation anyway. So for it to be completely gone in 2 months, and you do have that video where you're actually at the vet, and they're amazed. They're showing the before and after scans, and yeah, they realized that something special had happened, even the vets themselves.
And I will add that that neurologist moved to Washington State. So she is not in Georgia anymore. Hopefully she's able to take that knowledge to Washington and actually use it.
Awesome.
That would be beautiful.
Yes.
To go back to what you were saying initially, Elizabeth, you credited everything to the cannabis. I have to refer back to what I told you initially. If it wasn't for you and all your hard work, none of it would have happened. So, kudos to you for hanging in there, doing all the things that you did and being diligent, because that's what it requires. We need somebody that's going to do what it is needed in order to get the medicine into your dog's system, follow through with supplements, do the right thing with the diet, and you did all that. So,
Yeah.
A lot of credit to you for a lot of hard work. I know it was.
And you for coaching me through it. Because yes, if somebody tries to do this on their own, they'll question themselves. They'll say, it's sort of like when we take supplements and we don't feel anything. It's like, okay, put it back on the shelf and forget about it. But with your coaching and, continually reading stories, staying positive, picturing the tumor cells dying, all of that, reading Dr. Dressler's diet section, chapter 14, the whole book's great. I think chapter 1 is all about being positive and, not letting your dog know they're sick because they don't know they're sick. But honestly, it does take a village, but you got to believe it and you got to do it. You can't say one day, okay, well, I'm not going to do it today. I mean, it was 3 times a day, every day, actually, even until the day he died when he was on a maintenance dose. I mean, he stayed on cannabis, even though I finally got brave enough to knock the dose down after his tumor was gone. And to this day, I still take the green drops and the CBD. So
yeah, we're sending you some more today.
Yeah, I can't handle the THC, but I love the green drops. I really do.
CBD.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Was there anything
My dog
about protocols, Elizabeth, that was kind of difficult for you to follow during Rayban's treatment?
About the protocol?
Yeah, was there anything difficult?
Well, it was difficult to count drops when I was putting them in his mouth. And of course, when you first start this, you feel like you have to be as precise as pharmaceuticals. You can't give him, if we're up to 10 drops, you want to give 10 drops. So I devised, I would get a ramekin, a little glass bowl, and I would drop exactly 10 drops and put a circle of cream cheese around it so he would lick it up, because I wanted him to get it through his salivary glands. So I didn't want to put it in his food, didn't know if it would, what if he didn't eat that bite, So yes, that was a little challenging figuring out the drops, but when you need to figure something out, you invent a way. So that's but other than that, no, I had reminders in my calendar. I mean, at the times that I needed to do it, of course, you could fudge an hour or two one way or the other. I invited everybody in my family to remind me, give Rayban his medicine. Those reminders still pop up, and he's not with us anymore, but I can't bring myself to delete them. I'd remind mom, Rayban medicine 3 times a day on my calendar. But
Wow.
I think the others have deleted it, but I still get them. So
I want to interrupt for a second and just highlight something you just said. Something you said just a couple minutes ago. So you said that you didn't put it in your dog's food because you weren't sure if your dog was going to eat it that day. And I just want to, for the audience that's listening, we want to stress the importance of that. And also don't add it to your dog's water.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that when you are administering this, that they're going to consume all of it when you know they're going to consume it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yes. It's
The
so
best.
true. And when we grew through the doses and got up to the FECO, which is a thick oil, it was very easy because I could just put it on my finger and just lay it on his tongue. But when we were in the drop phase, it was, and that's, when you're working them up and working their tolerance up, you use the tinctures.
Right. And when I was doing the tinctures, my dog had some skin tags and stuff. So I got Jesse to get me set up on the protocol, and the doctors were wanting me to come in that Friday to get the skin tag literally cut off,
Uh-huh.
So I called them on Thursday and I was like, I don't need to come in. They're like, why? What happened? I said, it's gone.
I love it.
And they're like, what? And so I told them what we were doing, and I've continued to put my dog on doses, and I've been using the green every day. And honestly, Jesse, I need some more of that because I ended up turning my son onto it. So he's doing it too, and his dog's actually over here right now hanging out. And so I got the yellow is in the daytime, and I agree, it's a little tough sometimes. I think I got her high a couple times, a little too high, nothing really happened. She just was a little skitsy and like would like freak out on stuff that she normally wouldn't freak out on. Like if I kicked her or her pillow accidentally, and oh my God, she'd just like freak out, but then she'd be okay, and honestly, she slept really good. She's been sleeping like a rock star lately. Bowel movements have been amazing. I've got her on freeze dried raw, which is really interesting, Elizabeth, that the benefits of what we do to our dogs end up helping us too, right? I mean, like you're saying,
Yeah.
you're doing CBD, and we learn from we learn from that so much. And people always say, like, if they even utter the word "dumb dog," I just want to slap them,
Yeah.
because we're not the dumb ones.
How's Kira's
Exactly.
energy been? Have you
Kira's
noticed
been awesome. Kira's
Have you
awesome.
noticed change?
She's a big couch potato anyway, but when she plays hard. So is what I really like about it. So Kira's been
And-
great, and excited to have her on it, and plan to do it for the rest of her life for sure.
So the reason I asked that, again, for the audience that's watching, we do have a few viewers. So for the audience that's watching, one of the almost immediate things that you will see is that your dog will kind of become playful again. That is a good sign. So when you're doing these protocols and your dog's starting to come back to life and is a little more playful at times, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Actually, Rayban tore an ACL a few months after he was
Oh,
well
man.
into the protocol. And
Good.
and let me tell you, it healed beautifully and quickly. He had already torn the other one and had the TPLO surgery, which was just a nightmare to rehab him from. And I just got him a nice brace. I was like, I'm not putting him through that surgery because I still thought he was going to die. And I was like, why would I do that in his last few months? And the orthopedic even admitted, he said, this knee works so much better than the one that we did surgery on.
No kidding.
I love
Wow.
that.
What were your thoughts, Elizabeth, as you're watching these protocols work that you weren't expecting to work?
Good question.
I had such a huge shift in everything I believed about medicine. Huge shift. I mean, my entire life until 2017 was when in doubt, cut it out. If there's a pill, take it. I mean,
One pill
it
for
was,
all.
I have a headache, throw everything at it. That was what I believed. And I always thought that all the herbal and the supplements was, I just didn't believe in them. And I've done a 180. I mean, it's completely different now. I rarely take acetaminophen, ibuprofen. I go for my green bot. If I have I tore some cartilage riding horses the other day in my finger. And so I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'm kind of frozen, but I have to tape it to the other one, but it hurts. And I don't take anything. I just take my green drops for the
Yeah, you
inflammation.
love it.
Yeah.
Great job, Jesse and
Good.
Isabel, on the colors.
The
The
color.
colors is
Yeah.
yeah. When you're talking,
Cool.
when you got people saying green drops, you did something right, brother.
It's funny you
I
say
haven't,
that because
and I haven't heard bad enough to go to the yellow or blue. I'm a little terrified.
yeah, that's
because
the next level.
That is next
Yeah.
level for sure.
I did one time try Ray-Ban's Blue Fico or Feco is
Ooh,
how
yeah, I
y'all
remember
call
you
it.
called me.
Actually, I think I told you that I accidentally did it, but that was not true. And I half a rice grain. I think I texted you, Jesse, and I was just freaking
you're
out.
high,
Didn't know
high
what to
AF.
do. I'd walk from one room to the next and not know why I was there. And so I texted him, and you know how you can see the little dots when somebody's responding on an iPhone? I saw the dots and it felt like an hour. I mean, it felt like the longest time. And then the response was, how much? That's all he typed. So it must not have been an hour.
The part I didn't tell
And-
you, Elizabeth, was that I was high too when I was texting you both times.
So it might have taken you an hour. And then I told him, I said, like maybe a dot, a half a rice grain, maybe. And he said, sorry. He said, sorry, dude. Put on some pajamas and watch three movies. And I said, 3? I'm gonna do this for 6 hours?
Yep.
And he said, sorry.
Yeah.
So then I Googled and it said peppercorns can help. So I went to the
Peppercorns.
cabinet. I chewed up peppercorns. It did not help.
Nothing.
It did not help.
Mm.
There's
Oh,
really,
that would.
yeah. It was a long 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
funny,
then
you were
you
talking
did-
earlier about how people sometimes, end up using the medicine themselves. Earlier today, I was talking to somebody, and that person that I was talking to is completely Western medicine, right? That's all they believe in. I could tell because as soon as I told them to do something that wasn't in alignment with their vet, they questioned it, right? Well, how do you know? And why do you? And no. And so
Why did you call me then?
Yeah,
why did they even help me?
exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is gonna be a tough one. That's mostly everybody we talk to. We have to somehow not convince them, but re-educate them in what we're trying to explain to them, because they've been so programmed for so long with all of the hey,
Kool-Aid.
cannabis is bad,
All the bad Kool-Aid they're drinking.
good, this is
Exactly.
how you do it, and so it's tricky sometimes. Like I thought the guy was gonna hang up on me after I told him that his dog would have to get off of chemo, and he was like, "What? What do you mean? Chemo's the only thing that's keeping my dog alive." I said, "Actually, chemo's what's hurting your dog," and you could tell there was a shift in the conversation afterwards, and I had to kind of step on eggshells at that point and just reassure him, hey, we're not going to do anything drastic. We're not going to go against what your vet's saying to do. But eventually we want to get off these prescriptions and these drugs, because they're going to harm your dog in the long run. And,
Yeah.
that's a
Feck
hard sell.
off.
You
Feck
feck
off.
Feck
Feck
You need
off.
Hey, Jesse, you need to tell them the placebo story, that placebo is becoming the strongest medicine out there right now. So when they do all these studies, they're realizing that the people that are on the placebo are actually getting better treatment than people that are on the actual medicine, because they're not on the medicine.
Yeah. That makes
Holy
sense.
shit, right?
Yeah,
And they're
and the
actually recovering
placebo
better.
is really their own mind's ability
Yeah,
to heal
it's
themselves
mind over
in the
matter.
belief, in the
That's
true
all it
belief.
is.
Yeah.
Power of the mind.
It's pure
Yep.
hope. Yeah.
I'm telling
Hey,
you, it's so true.
So let me tell
So
you a
you
quick
have
story about my.
positivity plus a good medicine, you're on your way to getting better, big time.
Let me tell you a quick story about my mom and the brownie. My mom actually just turned 100, and
Wow.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's awesome.
she's kicking ass, and she had to put up with me for
Pretty awesome.
63 years.
Bless her heart.
And yeah, so she's been through some good times and some bad times, and so we're out in California, and Eric was 18 when he moved out there, and I moved out there about a year after that with him, understandably, because it's a lot better than Dallas, and I'm my mom's only sibling, so I brought my mom with me. So us three are hanging out at the house, and I had a friend there with me helping keep her bathed and stuff, and And so she went to the dentist one day, and then we came home, and my mom was like laying on the bed, and her mouth was like wide open, and she was like, looked like she was swallowing her tongue, and we're like, holy crap, So I called the dentist, and I was like, hey, was my mom okay today? And they go, oh yeah, she was fine. I said, right now she's not. And they said, call 911. And I was like, oh crap.
Oh boy.
I know. So I said, shit. So I called my friend Cassandra, and I said, Cassandra, my mom's laying on a bed, and she looks like she swallowed her tongue, and first thing she said was, call 911. I was like, oh shit. And then then all of a sudden my son comes running back and says, Dad, check this out. It's a triple indica brownie.
Oh,
And
no.
she ate the whole damn thing. She ate the whole thing. She was fucked up, man.
She didn't know it was cannabis though, right?
No.
She was high as fuck, man.
Wow.
Yeah, she could care less if it was cannabis. She was going to eat the brownie and deal with the after facts, and so I had to call the dentist back. Luckily, I didn't call 911, and I had to call the dentist back and my friend Cassandra, and I was like, "You're not going to believe this." And then her new nickname was like Party Grandma Betty, So.
I love it.
But she just turned 100, so you know what I mean. It's like,
Wow.
yeah.
She was enjoying it.
Oh yeah,
Her
she had
party
a
was
good-
awesome
That helped
too.
her get there.
Yeah, whatever it takes, man.
We
But,
have some comments in the in the feed. Much love and healing energy to all you beautiful folks. That's from Robin. And Chris is Arkansas and Missouri need y'all's help and knowledge. Love what y'all are doing.
We can do it.
Awesome.
Yay.
We can do
Great.
this. We can do this worldwide. That's the power of the FECO playbook, the power of FEC off.
Yep.
Jesse and Isabel, you can reach them anywhere, anytime. I think Jesse answers his phone 24/7.
Mhm.
For
Right.
anybody in the chat who's listening, if you guys are wanting to know how to contact any of us, go to FECO playbook.org.
Sweet.
Yep, they're a
Playbook.org.
partner there, and you can find them through there very easily.
And a big part of our program is for and Isabel was mentioning it earlier, about stories, about how we get stories from people, and how she was more than glad to share her story. Not Isabel, I apologize.
So that's
but
okay. I'll be Isabel. It's all right.
Elizabeth, but Elizabeth mentioned about the stories and how powerful paying it forward, and she was actually saying exactly what we do. I mean, we collect these stories as paying it forward, and then we share them with future patients, and it's a hope. It's a mission of hope. It's something that I've done since my son was diagnosed with a brain tumor when he was 8, and I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't have any hope after I talked to the doctor, for damn sure.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they told me it's going to be 2 months before our next appointment. So I went out on a mission even before Google was all about what Google does, and I found somebody that had a daughter that had the same brain tumor that had successfully had the surgery, and she was running around, and so I all of a sudden immediately felt different, and it was like a huge swing of hope, and a ray of hope, which is even better because it comes in fast and furious, just like the disease does, So we've kind of been leaning on that for a long time, and now we're able to really put it all together. This crowdsourcing is something that's amazing. We kind of treat it like an app, like a Waze app. Everybody's used Waze before, and it kind of helps you through the journey. It helps you get. I mean, I put Waze on just to go to the freaking grocery store sometimes now, just to let me know if there's some obstacles in the way.
Yes.
And
In Atlanta, we have to put it on to go to the grocery store because there are 4
Yeah.
ways to get there, and you want to know which one.
and they're all called Peachtree.
That's right. Exactly. So true. So true.
We still have
Yeah,
country roads out where I live, so.
Yeah, so we're starting a new program now, working with dispensaries. We've already talked. Jesse and I have been talking back and forth about a veterinarian program. We're definitely going to do. Our big FEC-off fact was that veterinarians, if you go to the veterinarian and you want to talk about CBD, you got to mention it first. If you don't say it, they can't say it. They legally can't say it. And a lot of them are really protective of their license because they make a lot of money. And you know what? I'm pro veterinarian, but I'm not pro vets telling people that their dogs are going to die. You know what I mean? That's feck off moment there for sure. You know, there's better ways to do it. You don't need to.
Patient autonomy.
That's a patient autonomy. That's not good for anybody. Nobody needs to hear that crap. And we all know what kind of a freak out mode we go into when we hear that. So, you know, we're trying to educate. I think a lot of our work is going to be educating veterinarians on how to talk to people with these type of diagnoses. You know, quit selling. You don't need to sell the fact that you can put them to sleep and a better than anybody else can. You know, let the dog live its life and have the best opportunity, and then they come out the other end. Are going to come out and they're survivors, and those dogs are better than any dog ever wished it was to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like they want to set expectations and they feel like that's what they have to do. I will say, I didn't say that this yet. Rayban did not die of a brain tumor. He lived 4 more years and he threw a clot. So I had him do an autopsy or whatever you call it with dogs, necropsy, and there was no brain tumor. Just to make sure everybody understands that. Yes.
Wow.
That's
pretty
amazing.
awesome.
That's amazing.
And I bet he was an awesome dog for 4 years. Oh my God.
Oh, yes. He was
yeah.
my buddy. He went everywhere with me, including from Atlanta to California to meet Jesse and Isabel.
And
That's awesome.
By car.
Yeah.
That's when we went to go and eat dinner with you guys in at the beach and hung out for a little bit. That was awesome.
And I came and ate seafood with Rayban. Which beach was that? Not Long Beach.
Was it Seal Beach? It was by my mother's market, my mother's beach.
I love Seal Beach.
It might have been Seal. It was a seafood restaurant and it was a marina with boats.
Oh yeah, Crab Pot in Seal Beach.
Yes.
That
was it.
That's right.
I've been there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Seal Beach is awesome.
Rayban had to meet them. He had to meet them. So
that's so cool. Yeah, that should be more. We should do more of those. You know, because I've owned my own business for a long time, and we're starting finally after 42 years. My kids are both working with me. Two of my 3, and which is like a pretty damn good number.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And we're starting to celebrate like Fridays. You know what I mean? It's like Friday afternoon. Celebrate a little bit. The week we made it another week. You know, and I was telling them, hey, today's Friday.
That's what we say. That's what we do.
Yeah. And you really need. You got to slow them down. That's how you slow it down a little bit, is you appreciate them a little bit more, you know, because they just come and go so fast. But yeah, we got some cool stuff going on in the dispensary program. Like I said, if you have a dog or you know a human that had a cancer story that they wouldn't mind sharing, if they understand how our program works and how we pay everything forward, please share it with us. You can go to fecoplaybook.org, reach out to Justin. Justin's our patient reported outcome director, and he can help you get that story. And you can send your video, you can send a Word doc, you can answer the questions. Anything you can share with us would be huge. And then we'll have you on the. We want success stories, and you come on these podcasts with us and get to meet Jesse and Isabel. You know, talk about fecking off and you know, really amazing stories.
We also offer, so if you are listening and your dog has cancer and you want help keeping track of your story along the way, you don't have to wait till your story is over. You can jump on, we can set you up a profile, we can send you weekly surveys to help you log important details along the way. That way we can capture the most out of the story and you've got a journey by the time you're done.
That's amazing. I have this journal that I did. I'm just going to hold it up because I typed it up.
Yeah,
you can see it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, it's day, seizure, only 2, never again, medicine, pharmaceuticals, and this is every single day. So I worked them all by the next
love to see
I would
that.
love
cannabis.
to get that. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely.
Oh my
that's
God,
fantastic.
that can help save another dog's life.
So
is where I look at it.
It's got
Elizabeth,
symptoms, mood, everything.
Oh,
let me
right on, Elizabeth. You're hired.
Let me tell you what we're gonna do with that. So we have a research team who is out of this world, incredibly professional, and we take their research and combine it with patient reported outcomes. With something as detailed as yours, we are able to get incredibly good outcomes. So they take it, they merge the data together, and then they shoot us the facts of this is what helped, this is what the reaction was, this what, and then we can take that and create individual playbooks for other dogs with the same type of cancer.
And it's
Yeah,
not just what
absolutely.
helps, it's why it helped and
Yeah.
how it helps, and the
Mhm.
in depth as deep as you want to go. If you want to
Yeah.
read 10 layers deep, you can go 10 layers deeper. Just have the Cliff Notes version.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
really it's the largest collection of data combining cannabis and cancer.
Wow.
And really, anything with a backbone. So it's just anything with an endocannabinoid system. We're learning so much, and like I said, thank you so much for being diligent. And what you did is you grabbed it, and you had control of your dog's life, and then you gave her 4 more years, man. And that's so cool, and that's what we want to be able to let people
Yeah.
know, is that's real. That's
Well, and
what I call.
I have to admit, it was for selfish reasons too. As I told Jesse, I wasn't sure I believed him, but I thought, what do I have to lose? And I need to know this for my people. Hopefully we never need it, but if we do, and this actually does work, then
Exactly.
I'm moving to LA, moving in with Jesse and Isabel,
And we're
and
partying all night, man. Yeah.
I'll be on their sofa wherever they can take me.
This
Well,
room for
it's funny you
Rayban.
say that, Elizabeth, because since we've helped you, you've actually referred lots and lots of people to us because you do believe in it, and you have told other people about your experience, and they've actually asked you, hey, who are these people? And you put them in touch with us, and we end up helping other people because of your experience.
That's absolutely true. Yes.
Yeah.
And several humans in addition to dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Works for humans too. Can't forget
It
that.
really does.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So in the
It's-
comment section, we have a comment from Peggy. Vet appointment yesterday for my 14-year-old who had malignant melanoma. Vet was confused, just a scar left. Thanks to Jesse.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. Feck off.
Yeah. Peggy, if you are listening, I sent you a comment from the FECO playbook. We would love to have you as a guest to hear your story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Well, we have tons more guests that we want to bring on. I think the next guest we want to bring on is maybe Sol, his dog. He literally typed up an essay every single day of his dog's reaction, what he fed him, his mood, what happened, did he go to the bathroom, how many times did he take, everything. So I think I'm gonna want to have him on because he documented just as good as Elizabeth, and I think those are the good stories that we need to have, where people actually document stuff, just like Elizabeth. She did, man. She was stellar.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
I
We're so excited.
would love that.
Great. I'm happy to send this to you.
Thank
I'll get
you.
your email address. I don't think I have it right now, but I'll get it from you, from Jesse.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking a chance, Elizabeth. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking to like do something so out of the box, when it's not even in your realm of things, but you've really
Anything
changed
for
a lot
you.
people.
This anything for this cause and anything for you and Jesse.
Well, you're
Isabel.
awesome. Thank you so much.
means
Appreciate
a
it.
lot to us, but it also means a lot to the future doggies. And like I said,
Absolutely.
if you have a story, share it with us. And if you're embarrassed about it, think about it. And anything you share with us helps.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't a successful situation, honestly, we need to know those too. Sad but true that
Absolutely. Successes and not successes all influence the recommendations going forward and help determine what effectors have the most chance of actually leading to that success.
you could, the least aggressive approach is where we start. And so you would start with the more least aggressive the earlier you get into it. And it all starts there. That's why you should never, one thing that the Western medicine has done to people is scared the crap out of them to even go to the doctor, because they know the treatment's so brutal. And if we if people listen to like what Elizabeth is talking about, it's not brutal. It's your dog lived 28 more people years,
That's
It's crazy you
true.
say that, Jim, because
good way to
this
put it.
morning I spoke to somebody and they asked me this question. They said, "Hey, Jesse, do you think it's safe to use cannabis with chemo?" And I thought, wow, that's a crazy question because it's the other way around. Is
Yeah,
chemo
yeah,
safe to use with cannabis? Because
yeah,
chemo is horrible. And it was funny too, because this morning I spoke to 2 brain mass clients. Their doggies had brain tumors. And I said, "Hey, we're going to do a podcast later today in a couple of hours. Why don't you tune in? Because it would, you know, it's exactly what we're talking about with your dog right now." They were afraid that if they stopped the Western medicines, the Keppras, the
Oh,
you know,
God.
phenobarbitals and all these seizure medicines with prednisones, that their dog would get sick. And I told him, I said, "Look, at some point you will not be able to continue these therapies because those therapies would be the reason why your dog declines." And it
Yeah.
was a hard thing for them, a pill to swallow for them. And they kind of gave me some kickback, like, "Well, what do you mean?" And it's like, oh God. So I
Yeah, you got
really
to explain it, right?
had to
Yeah,
explain it to him. It's like, "Look, I'm not telling you that your dog's, you know, not going to make it with those medicines, but what we've seen in the past, they're not sustainable. And eventually, you know, chemo's a type of drug that will cause a decline, even if you're healthy, let alone if you have cancer, you know?" So the fact that some
yeah.
people
It's
don't
the last
believe,
thing.
yeah,
The last thing your body needs when you're sick.
Well,
exactly.
and sadly, when your dog's on phenobarbital and all those medicines, Keppra didn't seem to have as bad a side effects, but I couldn't get Rayban off them fast enough because they're zombies and they're drinking too
Zombies.
much water.
Yeah,
They're
Peeing everywhere.
zombies, peeing everywhere
yeah,
because the prednisone makes them drink all the time. The phenobarbital, I mean, your dog is not even there. It's just like looking into a hollow,
yeah. That's so sad.
That's
and
what I
the
always
That's
say.
no
quality
It's
of
not my
life.
life.
dog anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so that's in my, weaning them. It scared me to wean him off because I didn't want to
yeah,
experience
yeah.
another seizure. But Jesse and I talked and we talked and we talked and
You gotta
we
trust.
worked it down and finally knocked it off completely within probably a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
That's pretty fast for
Yes.
phenobarbital.
Yeah, he was
We
on
don't mess
Keppra
around,
and
Justin.
I
Yeah,
mean,
We got to get off those
yeah.
drugs, man.
that's right. You want to get
well,
off as fast as possible.
I would say no, the
Good
first day
reason.
I have none is July 11th. So it was about a month. About a month. But he came back. We got him back because he wasn't
yeah.
taking his medicine.
Well, I remember when
Wow.
you brought him over to meet us, if I didn't know any better, I couldn't tell that he was sick at all. There was no circling, there was no ill
No. Mm-mm.
issues with him. He looked like a puppy and behaved. I mean, he was jumping around and sniffing and everything. I mean, he was a
He
puppy.
was so happy. Yeah, I know. He was
Yeah.
the happiest dog during that 4 years. And that throwing the clot was a shocker. I mean, he wasn't sick. He just threw a clot and they called a stroke or a clot. Something happened and I was in the driveway and it looked like a car hit him and he went down and it was horrible. It was the worst
Damn it.
way to lose him,
Oh,
but it was so sudden.
So peaceful though, I
And
bet. I mean, just knowing
uh,
that he was not in pain at all or anything like that,
right.
But,
He didn't go
yeah.
downhill slowly. This is
Right.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is tough on everybody, and it's hard for. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
well,
And
you
then you got to make that
definitely,
decision. Like, do I? Don't I? I hate
Yeah,
that.
there was no question. Exactly.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
gone.
your decision to go an alternative route increase the quality of life that was left.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's got to feel good.
Yeah, that's
It was
awesome.
good.
So we're in our infancy stages, just getting going. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. This is going to help us move the needle. Jesse and Isabel deserve all the credit for being able to stand up there and actually do what you're doing. It's very difficult. I've actually lost one of my 2 mentors recently because it's so difficult to do what they're doing. It's not
Yes.
normal to wake up in the morning and deal with 10 people with cancer, let alone dogs and people that have dogs. That it's just it's hard, man. I sometimes have to over medicate. It's a good excuse. And I don't do any pills, by the way. So
Yeah,
I have
we
to
You have
be
to
feel
have,
like Loki sometimes with the burden on our shoulder of having to help so many people, but you know, we love it. I with Isabel, we sit down every morning, talk about the people that we're helping, talk about the people we're gonna help, the phone calls we're gonna, the protocols, the phone calls we're gonna get on. And this morning I was just like, man, I mean, literally, I wake up every morning and tell Isabel, we're so blessed to be able to help so many people, because it just feels great knowing that there's at least somebody out there with a little bit of compassion, regardless of what the law says, that's willing to help, you know, because, you know, we get this situation where people are either worried, afraid, or concerned that, you know, the information that they're getting is not okay in their state. And we always tell them, look, we're not giving you information that you're going to use to go sell drugs to kids on the street. We're just trying to help your dog. And if that, you know, is illegal, then hey, man, throw me in jail, because we're just trying to help dogs that are sick, man. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'd rather
I
be
always say,
illegally. Go ahead.
oh yeah, that's, what is it? Illegally.
I'd rather be illegally alive than legally dead.
That's,
there you go.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Feck off. Feck off.
Back off.
Back off. Easy choice
Well,
there.
thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you so
My
much.
pleasure.
And
Really
maybe we'll
nice
see
to
you
meet you,
soon.
Elizabeth. Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes. I'm sure we will have more discussions in the future. I have so many questions for you.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
I'm here for
we'll all
you.
be in touch.
Yeah, I'm retired, so I have time.
Oh, you
Oh,
bragger.
that's
You earned
fantastic.
it.
You
All
just
right.
opened yourself a whole journey.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it. Good.
Spokesperson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Awesome, Elizabeth. Appreciate everything. Have a great weekend.
Yes,
Okay,
everybody.
you too.
Thank you guys
Jesse.
for
Take care. Have a
watching.
great weekend.
Thank you guys very much for joining us.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Another great one.
Take
Yeah,
care, guys.
and like I said, don't miss the next one, or you should just feck off, right?
Yep.
We'll see y'all.
Take
All
care.
right,
All
take
right.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.